Welcome to Science, Chapter 7 by Channel Education The Key to Success. The topics to be covered in this lesson are deforestation and its causes, consequences of deforestation, Biosphere Reserve, Flora and Fauna, Endemic Species, Wildlife Sanctuary, National Park,
recycling of paper, reforestation, migration, and what's this? The Red Data Book?
we'll learn about it later.
Deforestation and its causes. Clearing of land or land parcels for various purposes like farming, agriculture, building houses or factories, furniture, and other wooden and construction articles. All of it is categorized as deforestation.
Consequences of deforestation. It increases the temperature on earth, the groundwater level goes down, the level of carbon dioxide increases, rainfall and soil fertility also decrease. The balance in nature also gets disturbed. Droughts also occur. This picture shows you a drought which had occurred in Maharashtra. Desertification takes place. Floods. Water holding capacity of the soil is also decreased. What is a biosphere?
Biosphere is that part of the earth in which living organisms exist that support life. Biological diversity or biodiversity, how it's also called as, refers to the variety of different organisms that exist on earth, their interrelationship and their relationship with the environment.
Conservation of forests and wildlife. To do this, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are made. We will discuss about them in detail.
Biosphere reserves. Conservation of biodiversity. Variety of plants, organisms and microorganisms which are in that specific area. Now let's take a look at the flora and fauna in Pachmadi Biosphere Reserve a bit later. You can now say that a biosphere reserve is a very large area of protected land for the conservation of wildlife, plant, animal resources, traditional life of the tribals and natives living in that area. It's the government that demarcates these areas as biospheres. The Western Ghats are a biodiversity and a biosphere hotspot in India.
Let's see some more places which have biosphere reserves only in India, that is.
If we start from the north, we've got the cold desert, which is in Himachal Pradesh. In Uttarakhand, you have Nanda Devi. Then you have in Sikkim, you have Kanchenjunga, and a host of other national parks and biospheres out there. In Kutch, you've also got a salt pan based biosphere. Then down south, you've got quite a few, and in central and eastern India also has quite a few of them.
Flora and fauna. Plants and animals particular to specific areas are termed as the flora and fauna of that area. The flora and fauna of a particular place are comfortable in that place only, or they can manage to live in other places which have a similar climate. The flora of Pachmadi Biosphere Reserves is sal, teak, mango, jamun, silver ferns, arjun, etc. What is the fauna of Pachmadi Biosphere?
So, fauna means essentially the animals as well, right?
Yes.
The fauna of Pachmadi Biosphere Reserve are the chinkara, which is a distant cousin of the deer, the blue bull, the barking deer, cheetal, leopard, wild dog, and wolves.
Endemic flora and fauna. So, endemic essentially means the flora and fauna found in only that particular place, or in some more areas, but mainly in only some particular areas, not everywhere.
So you mean they are exclusive or originating from that place, is it?
Yes.
Wow, look at this. I never knew that a flying squirrel existed like this. Does it really fly in the sky? No, it jumps from tree to tree. It's more of a glide.
There are a few more endemic flora which we have collected from all over the world: India, Australia, and Indonesia. India, banyan tree; Empiria, Australia; Rafflesia arnoldi, which is Indonesia. Yes, who doesn't know about this flower? The biggest flower in the world.
My god. A few more fauna. The giant squirrel, and of course, the Royal Bengal tiger. Look how majestic it is.
Really looks nice.
Wildlife sanctuaries. So, what are wildlife sanctuaries?
Wildlife sanctuaries provide protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. Poaching and hunting, that is essentially killing of the animals, is strictly prohibited. There are 551 wildlife sanctuaries in India. Can you imagine?
That's a lot. So, looks like our government is doing some good work in this area, thanks to a lot of forest department officers who are dedicated in their commitment to conserving wildlife. Some of these wildlife sanctuaries are
Periyar, Sundarbans National Park, Pench National Park, etc. Yes, I have included National Park in this because there is not much difference between a wildlife sanctuary, Biosphere Reserve, and National Park, because National Park is essentially for flora and fauna, whereas wildlife sanctuary is dedicated to only fauna. But in that, of course, when you want to preserve animals, you have to preserve their habitat also, so fauna comes in it. But if you compare Biosphere Reserve and National Park, they're almost one and the same.
Oh, that's an interesting difference. Thank you for spotting it out. Endangered species.
Black rhino, and the ones which I am going to say afterwards are critically endangered ones, like the cross river gorilla and the hawksbill turtle, Amur leopard, African wild dog, and the ones which are after the brackets are only endangered ones: Asian elephant, Gangetic dolphin, blue whale. Yes, you can see this huge animal, and only this is actually a human. And can you imagine its size?
My god, I think we look like mere insects.
Yes.
And of course, who doesn't know about the cheetah? That it's endangered. That's so cute.
Yes, what a cute picture. There are some extinct species which is they are already gone from the world and not found anywhere except for some zoos: western black rhino, passenger pigeon, Tasmanian tiger, stellar sea cow, the great auk, and many more. Yes, this great auk, it is said that it will come back again, but that's what the scientists' expectations are. We don't know the actual truth.
Let's hope for the best. What's the red data book about? Is it a book only about butterflies?
Well, no, it is the source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants and that is flora and fauna of a particular country, and that is how people get to know about it, and they publish it on internet and give us more information, and also take care of the plants and animals.
Oh, so that's why you have specified the URL or the link, is it?
Yes. Migration.
So migration means moving from one place to the other. So from one area like the Siberian cranes, they cross thousands and thousands of kilometers to get to warmer climates when the winter is extremely harsh in Siberia. And these are known as migratory birds. What's recycling of paper?
It takes 17 full grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. Can you imagine?
My God, I think we really need to save paper and ensure that we source it from sustainably grown forests.
Yes. Save paper. Paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use, but not many people do that.
Indeed. So look out for your last year's notebooks, and if there are empty papers there, empty pages, please ensure you use them for your rough work or any other activity.
If each student saves at least 1 sheet of paper a day, we can save many trees in a year. We not only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. In this picture, you can see how paper can be recycled. So first,
So if we start from the newspaper, which is kind of delivered every day at our doorstep, or a different book, be it a notebook or a textbook, you ensure that paper gets categorized and classified and recycled. It would then be torn into multiple shreds. A paper pulp would be formed, and you can have a brand new paper created out of it, which is obviously called as recycled paper because you have not used wood or any natural elements for it. And it's again available in supermarkets and stores for you to buy it. And it could be in the form of notebooks, art paper, newspapers, and so on.
so this cycle, if it continues, it will be of much help to our forests.
Indeed.
Reforestation. This is, of course, as the name suggests, the opposite of deforestation. We have already learnt about deforestation in our in last classes and even last chapter, etc. Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed trees in forests by planting new trees. We should plant almost as many trees as we cut, or even more trees as we cut. If the deforested area is left undisturbed, it re-establishes itself. In India, we have the Forest Conservation Act. What is it?
This Act, the Forest Conservation Act of 1980, speaks about resources and its allocation. It talks about the needs of a person living near the forests and ways and means to preserve forests and wildlife. You can always ask your doubts to us via the comment section and we would be glad to address it.
Yes, and yes, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notifications bell so that you get all our uploads first. Thank you.
Thank you.